I'm doing this on my phone, so hopefully it works. I'm going to show you how to do a wound abrasion. I'm using my Nye Zombie Wheel, a round number 3. This is a tool that I got at a ceramics store. It's really good because it's metal. It's got this nice fine edge, which is really great for putting on streaks and cuts. It's not sharp enough to cut skin, but you know, I can, with my trusty fresh scab, I can get a glob on and easily apply the blood in the way I need. My little cup of 99% alcohol, and these are latex sponges. If you can see, I hope you can. I have torn them so they have jagged edges. I have several different ones for several different colors. You will want to do this yourself. You don't want them to be too uniform, and I'm still picking at them, as you can see, to make them even less uniform. So, that's what I got. Let's get started. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this one, which is the red one, and work it in the brighter of the red tones. Next, I'm just gonna make it look like a, you know, I don't know. I'm gonna give myself some abrasions here. Something happened. Maybe I hit somebody. Yeah, hit somebody's face, but, you know. And, you know, it's a lot of what this is you just going over again and again and again. You can use just the tiniest dab. I also have a wet towel here to get a more liquidy appearance. I don't know. See how that's shiny now? So's this. If I were to dab it on my skin, it would be very opaque. So again, I'm gonna basically do dry brush techniques. Maybe I punched a wall. There we go. That works. It's always good to have an idea of how the hell did you do that? So it makes sense, you know. Okay. I've got that red down. Next, I'm going to get a mixture of the dark bluish purple. It looks just like a dark gray, but it's actually a bluish purple tint. I'm going to mix it with the dark red. So yes, I'm blending right in with it. It's a little bit of alcohol. You want to use 99% proof when you're doing this stuff. Again, if I just dab that on, well, it's actually pretty decent. So now I'll just take this. This is to give it a little bit more depth. Alright, so I've got that part down. Next part I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking my brush and getting it a little wet, and then basically loading my brush like I would a normal paint. And then I'm going to, and the motion I'm going to be using, I'm holding it like this, and I'm going to be doing this, barely touching my skin over and over again. So, to give you an idea. going really fast, and I'm letting it build itself up. I'm going to give myself a more obvious scratch right there. Since I punched myself, I will go ahead and, or I punched a wall, I'm saying I'm going to go ahead and make a fist so it makes more sense. Now, I'm going to show you right here where I don't have what I'm doing. And see, there I went a little too hard on the skin. If I get too close, it's not going to look right. It's going to be big and blotchy like that. Or that. It's all about building up from little bit to more. Going to get the slightly darker color now. Whoa! And spill my... shit. All over my table. But thankfully, not my computer. And this one's more for, you know, giving an actual deep cut area. You know, I want that one to be more deep. That one there. You see that pretty well? The next bit is going to be getting the darker color of getting the purpley blue, and this is for shadows. Shadows in those wounds that I've got. So, got a couple over here, and this is something that Gary on the course I took today was talking about, is squiggly, basically, is what he called it. Where you're barely touching the skin, and there's barely any paint on, but you're squiggling it around. It makes it look a lot more realistic. More. Right, the dark red there. Again, that squiggly. Yes. And then for our abrasion down here, again, I'm barely touching my skin. It'll be easier to do on yourself than other people, because, you know, I can feel it on my skin. whereas you can't necessarily feel it on somebody else's. And because I mixed that blue purple with the darker red, it's blending really well. So, here's my abrasion so far, and here's my bloody knuckles from whatever I was beating on. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of the yellow to give it a look of depth, and I'm just barely going to add any, but it's going to add a level of depth, you'll see, and it'll make the skin just look puffy. And no, that's not the progression normally of bruises, but it always seems to help. Going over it a little bit with dark gray, just to give it that extra, bruised, ow effect. Especially right here, it would be very nicely bruising. Don't be afraid to mix your colors in your palette. What your alcohol's for. Just a little bit of green. Give me a nice bruising setting in. Alright, I'm going to add the blood now. Nope. Ah! Oh, there we go. So, here's my blood, here's my spatula. And this is basically how I do it. I get it on the edge of my spatula. Ta-da! On the edge, living on the edge. And so for this one, I'm just gonna drag it. Drag it. It's working much better earlier. Nab it. This is just plain old liquid stage blood. Just gonna pour some into the cap. Makes a great dispenser. Works well. And you can mix your stage blood with your coagulated blood to get a slightly thicker look. That's essentially what I'm doing now on the cap. So Gary says don't be afraid of blood, so trying to not. Usually I'm not. There we go. Come into focus. My pretty. There's our abrasion. Now, for this part, my bloodied fingers, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my. Use this one. This is a number 7. Number 7 round. It's really a number 4. But I'm gonna get some blood on me brush and just kind of dabba dabba dabba. Is it gonna focus? Is it gonna focus? Yes, no. Maybe I can. There we go. And here's where I really want to make sure I get some of this coagulated blood in. You see what I'm doing. Again, I'm just, the more random it is, the more realistic it will be. That's one of my cuts. Coagulated blood would probably work a little bit better. I'm going to use a little flat side. Hey, there we go. That seems to be working a little bit better for the effect I want, which is, you know, I've got some arrows here and need to get it looking a little bit more splattery. If I wasn't at my desk, I'd be a little bit more inclined to, you know, go at it with the splatter technique, which is, you know, doing things like this. But it's not quite, my blood is, I would need to thin this blood out a little bit more to make that workable. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Here's my bloodied knuckles and abrasion. Hopefully that is helpful for everybody. Thanks for watching.